Hi friends. Hi guys, Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. Today's Sunday. Sew Sunday, where we sew on a Sunday. Or actually, I inspire you to take one day out of your week on a Sunday and get some sewing done. Anyway, so I'm here. I have announcements. I'm going to sew junk while I'm sitting here.
Junk. You're gonna sew junk.
I'm just going to dabble in some sewing today. Anyway, I have a couple quick announcements that I kind of want to get out of the way before I do anything because it's highly important. And yeah, so I know there's not everyone here and I'll probably repeat myself later again, but I'm gonna let you guys all know now. I had an issue with the survey that I started for the 5K giveaway. So if you have already filled out a form for the 5K giveaway, I am so sorry, but all 200 and something of you are going to have to go back to whatever source you found it from, whether it be my community tab or on Facebook, and there is now a new link, same survey, different format, because that other one costed money and I didn't think it was fair to the people that have entered if I only had the ability to see 40 names. Like seriously, it shows that tons of people entered, but it only allows me to see without paying 40 people. And if I was to have paid for it, it was some kind of issue and I can't do it. So there's no point in paying a bunch of money for 1 month of that survey company when I'm never going to use it again. I thought it was free. I typed in free survey. So I just went back to the same form I used last time. Obviously, it's new questions, not the same as last time's, but please, 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 if you filled it out, go fill it out again. You can write the same answers as you wrote last time if you remember them. I probably wouldn't remember mine. I'd probably write something new, but whatever. You get the drift. Please go refill it out to be entered. Yeah, you guys have homework, like Scott's saying in the background that you probably cannot hear. So if you would, please refill out that survey. And with all that said, what are you going to win anyway? If you are one of 5 winners, let me grab the winner pile to show you guys what you're entering to win anyway, because we might as well just get all that stuff out of the way. And I'll probably do this again later in the video to remind those that are just joining in. So, all right, what is being given away? I'll just place all this on my lap and start with number 1. So you guys remember this from a wonderful little tutorial I just recently did, like all in one video, even the long arm, on a live stream. I made this while I was bored on a live stream. So this is prize number 1. So, and it has minions on the back. It's just a small little 36 by 36, I'm going to assume. I actually don't know the sizes of everything. Yep, 36 by 37-ish. Little quilt with minions on the back, quilted and everything, all from one live stream. Very cute. That is prize number 1. And you guys know that I love to give things away that I have made. I know with other channels.
Mary says, wow, your hair is getting long.
Yeah. And this is what happens right after I take a shower too. It just does this, even if I brush it. So weird. All right, prize number 2. You guys may have seen this in my for sale stuff, for those that have been following for a long time, and the tutorial on it a very long time ago. Number 2 is this big baby quilt. It is an on-point quilt. It is cute. Notice I kind of stick with this yellow theme all the time. Lots of yellow. But I did make this in a tutorial. I'm not sure if I quilted the clamshells in a video or not, but oh well, if I did, I did, I didn't, I didn't. I've probably done a video on them. And then the back has Winnie the Pooh flannel, which was a high thing for me and lots of quilts in the last couple years until I ran out. But
It works for boys and girls.
yes. All right, so there's prize number 2, and that is 36 by, I'm just like quick measuring things right then and there on the fly. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 43. 36 by 43-ish. That's just a quick thing. All right, so let's fold that one out of the way. The next one you guys did not see in a tutorial. It was sent to me as a, please finish this because I know you will scrap pile. So I did finish it, and it is a table runner. So here is a card trick table runner, and it was a kit that someone just did not finish, and it is now up for grabs in the giveaway as number 3. It's very skinny, so it's like 12.5 inches wide by who knows how long tip to tip. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43 from point to point. So there is this, and the back is this beautiful blue. This is not super quilted. It is quilted just around the edge. And then it's, instead of using yarn to tie quilt, I use the machine because I'm lazy and don't like to hand anything. So it actually has got tie marks everywhere, but machine tied, tacked down in all the junctions, joints, whatever, everywhere that there's a corner. So there's that. So that is prize number 3. And this could be used all seasons, any season you want, let me tell you. All right, prize number 4.
Beautiful table.
You guys just watched me make these. I'm telling you, you did. And you also watched me quilt them in a second video. Table runner this will be number 4 prize, but table runner number 1. So I made this one specifically during the video that I was on the other night when I was bored. So literally this was just made, and it was made with the intention to give it away. Go figure. So this table runner is 24 by 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. By 43. Look at that. They're all like in the 43 range so far. So this, and then the back of this has the cherries. I do have to say, I'm going to tell you guys the truth on this. Whoever wins this, you may or may not notice. I had tension issues and I didn't even know it because I used yellow thread on yellow fabric. So it might be noticeable to the normal long armor like me who sees tension problems, but I could not, in the dark while I was filming this, see yellow on yellow. So I didn't get it all, but whatever. It's quilted. It's lovely. It's fantastic. And it will make a great Easter table runner and or anything in the spring because it's, you know, multifunctional. All right, so there's that. So that was prize number 3. And prize number 4 is what I did after that video. The next morning I woke up and said, well, I got to make the second one already. So here is the second one. Same layout, but there's 2 extra points and the sides are different, as you can tell. So this is the one from that I did not make in the tutorial, but it was also in the quilted video, and it has the same tension issue that I just said. So this is prize number 5. This one is actually different sized. It's shorter, I think, by, yeah, so it's 24 by 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. So it's 24 by 41. So there's this one. And this one also is the same as the last. It does have the cherries on the back. Everything is the same except for the 2 yellow extra pieces I pulled out from the one and put them both in this one. And it lined up perfectly. So this is prize number 5. So for 5K, 5 prizes, all handmade by me. And I will even sign them all for whoever wins. And that's it. That's all I have for the 5K giveaway. So just remember, if you want to enter, please, 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 if you already did enter, go enter again because of that whole mess up. You got to do that. I know, I'm sorry I asked too much of you guys, but you got to do it or else you won't be entered. So there we go. That's done. I probably talked too fast, but I'm going to start sewing now.
Do they all understand that?
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions? Y'all understand I had issues with one survey, so I had to redo this other survey. So you have to refill it out again. If you've already filled it out, don't forget, you have to go do it again. If you haven't yet, then it'd be your first time, and that's just how it works. But unfortunately, I am never using that other survey site ever again. I will just continue with Google Docs every time I need to do a survey. So, yes, I have scraps left over.
Where do you find the survey?
Okay, I'm going to have to show this because I do almost every time I have a giveaway. Let me open up the YouTube on here so that I can walk you guys through how this works. Yep, 2 seconds and I'll show you guys. I do not have Facebook on here, so if you are in the Facebook group, it's easily found in the Facebook group. But on here, okay.
Patty says it's so hard to pick what I've learned from you on your survey.
All right.
Thank you for that, Patty.
This is my channel. Okay. So when you come to Tiffany's Quilting Life, you'll see Home, which has videos. Then you'll see the Video tab, which has them in order of when I put them on. Then you'll see Playlist, and then you'll see Community. Hit Community. This is the same on both phones and everything. Community posts are on their way. They're actually there. I don't know why this device never shows it, but under the Community tab, it is the first and only post there. So it's just under the Community tab. Mine on this device never shows it, so I don't know why I even bother trying to show you guys, but look for the Community tab. It's literally on my channel, right there in the top thing. I don't know why this never does it. But that's because I never use that thing either. Unless I'm uploading a video or something, then I use that while this is doing its thing. So yeah, and then on Facebook, it's the pinned post in the group, if you're in the group. So if you haven't joined the group already, make it easier to find this thing, just join the group. And make sure you answer those questions, because if you don't answer those questions, I will deny you, and so will my moderators. Also, if you don't have a profile picture or something, you will also get denied, because most spam or whatever, they also don't have profile pictures, so it is really hard to honestly know. And if your name is Kai Bob from Bye Bob, I'm telling you right now, you're not getting in, because I know for a fact that it is spam, especially if you didn't answer the questions and have no profile picture. So please make sure you guys answer those questions, because it really helps. It's simple, obviously. Everything is simple except for, obviously, my accidental 5K giveaway mess up. So, hey, can't always be correct. Have to have at least one problem for everything, right? So I have these beautiful purple scraps that I'm just kind of pulling down here so that you can even see. And notice they're very skinny because they're my 1-inch string pieces. And if you notice, the colors look super familiar. And that is because I just posted a 10-minute video earlier, which is time-lapse. I know some people don't like time-lapse, but it is only a 10-minute time-lapse. And there's options to slow videos playback down if you want to pay attention. And it doesn't hurt your eyes. But I posted a video earlier because I made stars. Let me show you. So for those who haven't seen yet, you're going to have to go watch the video, but this is just a little sneak peek. This is the number 2 one. I haven't hand stitched down my hanging sleeve or my tag yet, but for those of you who don't know, these are actually my quilt show entries for the mini quilt portion of the quilt show.
The new link on the Facebook tab?
Yes, it all should be updated. And here's number 2. So far, this seems to be a lot of people's favorite because of the background color makes the star pop out. But technically, in person, this one is the same thing. The background color does make the star pop out. I don't know why on camera it doesn't pull it, but in person you can see it. So they're just set up differently. So these are a little series of 2 quilts that are being entered together. And I just have to put the sleeves on them. But they're called Twinkle Twinkle Little Lone Star because they're so tiny. And the scraps today that I'm going to be sewing are leftovers from these, so that I don't have to put them in my boutique bin, and I'm going to make another little mini quilt out of the scraps. So, hey, why not? And the reason why I made these for the quilt show, and I'm going to show you why, because you guys would be like, Tiffany, you got mad. Trust me, I have. I made them for the quilt show because I made myself something, and I was like, I hung it up in my bedroom, and I was like, oh, man, I need to do that again, because that is quilt show quality. So this is what I made to hang in my house for myself that's not going to quilt shows. So I started doing this, and this one's actually a tiny bit bigger than the other two, like literally by like an inch. But they finish about 15 inches. These are really small, tiny quilts. But you can see my color palette on this one is pinks with purple, like mixed together because, well, why not? It looks awesome. But I didn't have enough scraps from these because these were actually made from tiny scraps that I had. I didn't have enough scraps to keep going with more, or else I'd have two of these as well. But this was where my head was right here. And then my other two came out even smaller in all these sections because I made the other one smaller. So yeah, I had fun with my 1-inch pieces. And these one, oh, a little quick note. This one was actually made with 1-inch diamonds on their own, no strip piecing. The other two were made the strip unit way, which is making a strip unit and then subcutting to make my diamonds. So this was actually made individual little 1-inch diamonds. This one was a little bit harder and more time consuming, but I did it. So there you go. You guys get to see what I've been up to lately off camera. Well, except for the two other ones. I did those on a time-lapse camera. So yeah. Now to get to some sewing. So I'm just going to make more strip units because I already thought of this in my brain. Since these were already on the 45, I'm going to go ahead and cut them the opposite way and create half square triangles and then put 2 units together instead of putting another one on the top and sewing them. I'm actually just going to continue making 4-piece strip units and then cut them all. And then, because I don't have all the colors left, it was 7 colors. I'm going to go ahead and then just hook them together and get what I can get out of this. And then whatever's left over, I'll do what I can to make a border or something with. So let's sew some tiny pieces. And I still have my purple thread. And I'm just going to sew while we chit chat. All right. So what is everybody sewing today? Tell Scott, and he will tell me out loud as much as he can. He will start reading. Or I will. He's far behind, so I'm going to jump in too at the same time. Oh, sorry about that. All right. I'm going to do reading at the same time so that I can see. He's trying to answer survey questions. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to sew these together and have fun. That's what I'm going to do. And enjoy what I'm doing. But it would be nice to have a smaller stitch length because they're getting subcut. And since these are 1-inch, it's best to have the smallest stitch length possible. Let me tell you. Desktop computer and can't find the survey. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I can do it from here, I think. Community. Oh, it's not because the community tab is not open from this device. Let's see. Facebook. I'm going to help you guys out here. 2 seconds. Because I know how to do this and Scott does not. It's different on an iPad than it is in my from my phone. It's a little bit more complicated. Nope, wrong button. Edit, there we go.
Kathleen wants to know if you will consider a mini tutorial series. One video
Trust me,
for each part of these.
It's going to happen.
Out now. It would be a great follow-up. And she said, yeah, I need more detailed
go from one spot to another to do this. Whee, there we go. This device is so much different. It's weird using an iPad versus every time I'm always using an Android. All right, the link is now in the chat. So all you have to do is click on that. And since I'm not doing much, you guys can do that while I sew. It only takes a few minutes and then you can come back. Just remember, for those of you that already done it, please do it again. Because, or else you're not entered and then you will lose your 1 in whatever entry chance. Hmm? And since it's now in my copy and paste, I could actually copy it again later. My machine probably sounds different because it got oiled, but I haven't given it a bath yet. I've been working on so many things that I have neglected to take care of the Juki. All right, let's see. Choose 2 of these. Trying to put them together in like the lengths, you know, some of these lengths, because they're going to make like 3 3/4 inch half square triangles from these. Somewhere around there.
It's okay to put a cookie recipe on your page on Facebook.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as it pertains to what we talk about here in the chat or, you know, things like that, then I don't care. It's fine if they talked about it here. It's fine.
Okay, then have at it, Cam.
Yeah, I don't mind.
But Cam, you gotta make me a batch of cookies.
You gotta make Scott a batch of cookies and then eat it for him.
Send them to me. I don't want cookies.
She's gonna post the recipe so that I have to actually cook this winter for cookies. You guys hear him laughing in the background? Although I've been told you guys can't hear him at all anymore, but oh well. Probably gonna like run out of combinations here because I don't really have that many pieces left. And I'm staggering them down too. So that way I save more fabric when I cut. I do have to tell you guys, when making mini quilts, just a suggestion for anybody that likes to make mini quilts, the best thing to do is make them out of batiks for one. And when using batiks, it's best to use a very, very thin, like 30, 40, somewhere around there weight thread, because then it helps those seams like totally go back. And it also helps to press everything open because I have no bulging, absolutely no bulging in my quilt. They are just as flat. You can't even tell on the backside where the seams are. Like, you know how some quilts you can feel where seams are when, you know, joints come together on the, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that you can't feel that at all. They lay so flat. Batik, using the batiks was a better option for a mini quilt. So I'm using very super tiny thread today. About entering the giveaway over again for those that are, I'm going to repost it. I'm just going to keep reposting it throughout today's video. So there's to the survey to fill out to enter the 5K giveaway, which you could win 1 of 5 items that are buried right there on top of the thing. I just figured that they were curious what you guys were talking about.
Patty wants to know, are you posting the pattern for this? I love it.
For my mini?
Yes,
The little mini quilts that I did the diamonds, is that the pattern she's talking about? Or for what I'm working on now? Because what I'm working on now is super simple. You can do with any size.
Are you posting the pattern for this?
No. No. I will be making a video of the quilt that's already planned.
See these?
Yes.
These are awesome. I'll show these while you're playing around.
There's 2 under here.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yes, there will be a regular tutorial. The time-lapse was just like a teaser, I guess. There'll be a regular tutorial on how to make those. Yes. Yes, the miniature Lone Stars will have a tutorial. For one, just to make one, and you guys will get all the measurements and so on and so forth of everything you need to cut and do. They actually go together pretty quick. Just one unit goes together pretty quick.
They're all saying, yay. Heather says, yeah, I want to make one.
Yes, they are. For those of you that are okay with 1 inch, 1 inch. I mean, you guys have seen all my mini stuff. 1 inch little tiny pieces. These aren't 1.5 inch like I've done before. These are 1 inch. They're so tiny. But the outside pieces obviously are bigger, but the 1 inch ones, they're strip pieced, so it's a little bit easier. But once you start putting the little diamonds together into the 8 little diamond sets, then is when it becomes a little bit more troublesome. Or if you do them individually, like I did the pink one. But I really did, for, you know, a couple days, have quite a bit of fun making those, because that's what I did for a few days. And it is definitely fun. So if you don't mind little stuff, you guys will learn how to do it. Probably only going to get a couple pieces out of each of these, but hey, at least I'm using up all the scraps. Oh, and the project only uses 7 fat quarters, by the way. 7 fat quarters. You'll have leftovers to make a second one, different colorway, but for one, you only need 7 fat quarters and a little tiny small amount of background fabric. So you can even use another fat quarter, like an 1/8 fat quarter for your backing of it. So food for thought. That's all you need in advance. But I'll tell you guys when I make the video. Yeah, nobody can hear Scott anymore. We don't have, he doesn't, yeah, he doesn't want us to buy another microphone for him because he doesn't care to be on the chat anyway. He just talks via texting or messenger, whatever this is, the chat box. Wow, I couldn't say it. You know what's cool about batiks? There really is no right or wrong side. Although some sides do look better than the other.
Teresa says, glad you're on. It's giving me something to do.
I'm glad I'm on too, because obviously I like hanging out with you guys. All 121 of you. And more.
Wants to know,
To Facebook?
She doesn't know how to add her picture onto Facebook? Is that what she's saying there?
Honestly, I don't know what she's saying. You'll have to wait for her answer.
Take a picture from your Facebook. It's already in your Facebook.
Not if you don't have a if you just started your profile.
Then take one. Put it on, I guess. I don't know. Irma forgot how she got into the survey.
Anytime someone says it, I'm just going to paste it in the chat.
Tell her, Irma, we're just going to repaste it onto the chat for you.
I'm just going to keep putting it in the chat throughout the video today.
There you go, Irma. It's right there.
They can't hear you, so I don't know why you talk. Can any of you actually hear Scott at all over, like if he talks loud enough, like over my microphone? Can you hear him? Good. As long as you guys can hear me.
Stella can hear me.
Yeah, see, a lot of you can hear him. I do know that this microphone doesn't pick up too much of the background sounds. It's supposed to diminish the other sounds, like especially the machine and stuff, but who knows if it actually does.
Susan can hear me. Yeah, Patty can hear me. It's okay, Kim. I'm just talking about you, so you don't need to hear me. So, ha ha ha. Ha ha.
It's funny. Right now I'm sewing everything in groups of 2 so that I can sew it all into groups of 4. Because hopefully there's an equal balance, I guess, because I don't think there's going to be an equal balance of all this. You don't need a picture to do the survey. You need a picture to do to join Facebook, like to join the group. I need to see who you are. If you are using Facebook, the survey is just questions, just so that you guys know. That's all the survey is. Just a couple of questions. Name, address, email, a couple of little extra questions that help my channel out. It's not like I need to know things, but I'd like to know things because, you know, it helps me. Nope. The survey, you just fill it out. Quite simple.
You just need a picture on your Facebook in order to join the Facebook group.
Yep. It's the Facebook group that I deny people because spam usually don't have a profile picture. It's usually just blank. All right. Let's snip all these apart and then start sewing them into groups of 4 after I finger press them with open seams, because that's the only way to do this is with open seams. Which is going to take me a bit, but we can chat while I open all these seams up. Move that out of the way. Put these right here because I'm going to be at this for a few minutes. Because I'm not using the iron right now. I'll do that later. I'm just hanging out with you guys while I sew some stuff. I don't want any of this to go to waste. I am one of those kind of people who can't let a 1-inch strip go to waste because I just can't. So these ones are long enough to be split into two, aren't they? For these shorter ones. How much shorter is this one? Oh yeah, it can be. Let's split this into two because I can. Be nice if the blade was open. There we go. So there's 2 short ones and 2 long pieces. There we go. All right.
Linda says your hair is growing out. It looks nice.
Yes. And it's so messy and there's fuzz in it now because that's what happens when I'm sewing. It gets fuzz in it.
Ashley says, how do you come up with so many ideas?
I don't know. I just sew. I just like to sew and I like to screw with my craps. I like to screw with my scraps and get them made into stuff. Whatever have it be is what it'll be. Okay. So I'm just pressing all these open now.
Well, Ashley says you have inspired me to challenge my brain. Thanks for spending your time with us.
Awesome. I definitely.
Patty says you're an artist. You deserve lots of subscribers.
Thank you. It's growing faster. It's the weirdest thing. It's not like I don't like it or anything, but like I was never in my whole entire time being on YouTube, never thought ever when I was at 500 for the longest time, and some of you may remember that, the ones that have been here since the beginning. When I was at 500, I was there forever, like 3 years, 2.5, 3 years almost. And then all of a sudden, right before at 2019, when 2019 came around, bam, it just started going crazy. Weird. And all of a sudden I had tons of subscribers. I hit 1,000 and then it took a while to get to 2,000, but once I hit 2,000, I got to 3 quickly. And obviously I have to thank other YouTubers like T because she mentions me all the time, and Becca from So Becca, she mentions me all the time. T is from T Quilts if you guys didn't know. Yes, and the Quilting Marine gives me shout outs when I'm on, and the So Yeah guys. So if it wasn't for all of them and the YouTube algorithms, you guys wouldn't be here, you know. So I'm glad you guys all found me. I'm happy that you are able to join. I may be a little wild and out there, but you know, I like to have fun and just be random. So for those that are new to my channel and don't know, I am not on a schedule. So Sunday is the only scheduled anything on my channel. Everything else is random. I'm just random. I don't have an intro video anymore for anybody to watch that's new to my channel. I'll have to make a new one sooner or later, but right now I don't have one. But I'm just wild and out there.
Connie says she really enjoyed your video. The fast forward was so great. She had to watch it all the way. Watch it all the way through.
Awesome. Yep, so if you guys haven't seen that video yet, after this one, you can go over there. It's only 10 minutes long, 10 minutes and 27 seconds to be exact. It's just the process of making the 2 little quilts I showed earlier, just a few ago in this video. So if you're like intrigued, you can go over there and like, oh, I didn't watch this yet. I had a little camera shottiness though, like I was trying to figure out a good way to move the camera between certain sections of filming instead of just like turning it because I didn't want you guys to see my mess while I'm doing that. You know, well, it's not like you guys care, but you know, I was at least trying to be nice with it. So I would put my hand in front of here's the phone and camera, and I'd put my hand in front of it to try to turn it. But as soon as I let go, it was like movie and shoddy. Like, I don't know why, but whatever. I'm not a fancy filmmaker, so I'll just edit simple little videos. And I filmed the whole entire thing. Guess what? In my pajamas. I wore my nightgown the whole time, but you guys can't tell because I didn't show myself that whole video. Which is kind of cool. I got away. I could have been walking around in a sports bra and underwear, and you guys would have never known. It's kind of funny. But I'm always in my pajamas, so.
Harriet says, that's why we love you. You have a creative mind and don't mind sharing your talent.
Yes, I definitely love to share.
Heather says she can still hear me. I'm just real low.
Okay. I knew the microphone, if I have the volume, I think I have the volume all the way up. I'm pretty sure it's all the way up.
Mary asks, do you ever make a strong quilt that's scrappy and not matching?
Yes, all the time.
Vicky says, you do really great at this. I love your videos. Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you. I try. Actually, I don't really try. I just do what I know how to do. There's some effort involved.
Well, Margaret, does that mean you already entered it? You can only enter it once.
Yeah, you can only enter the giveaway once.
If you haven't entered it, then just click
The
on
thingy you'll know.
Tiff keeps posting.
The thingy you'll know if you've entered it more than once.
And she's posted it more than, what, 2-3 times now?
Yeah, and I'll put it again right now.
So yeah, just enter it there, Margaret. If you haven't entered, you can only enter it once, so everybody's only going to...
And if you entered the other one, make sure that you re-enter again. So if you entered the other accidental boo-boo one, the Survey Monkey, that one no longer exists. It's been turned off. So you'll have to make sure that you re-enter again.
Tanya says, I watched your bag tutorial today, and it was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Connie says she just tuned in. Are you opening seams or are you pressing?
I'm pressing them open, which is very rare for me, guys. You guys know this, but with the batiks and them being so tiny, I'm doing them open. Because this is a tiny quilt, so it's not going to be used to like cover anybody up, and I am not stitching in the ditch to break any seam. So it's okay, I think, at this point to... There are times that I say it's okay to press your seams open. Then there's other times that I say it doesn't matter whether it's open or not, because when I long arm quilt it and I stitch in the ditch, those seams can get ripped wide open if they're pressed open. And I know this from experience. You're just joining, I'm making strip units so that I can make one more quilt out of all these little scraps. I may have enough little scraps from the pink. I don't know, to make something like a pot holder, maybe. I don't know, something really small. I don't know how big this is going to come out either. Because I just figured I'd make it and see what happens. I like to make stuff that way. See what happens. And if you're curious about this little tool here, it's a little wood pressing tool. And I like this one over this rolly thing. My daughter gave me this rolly thing. It works, trust me, it works great. But this one right here, because I have fingernails and my nails are long, this has a point to it. And you can slide it right in between the two seams to spread it open for your start. And then you open it just a little bit and then you slide down it and it like flattens it completely out. And it doesn't even roll the front side. Like if I was to just roll this open, it would put like a kink on the front side. This one does not. So if you guys are interested in a tool like this, these can actually be found I don't know if she has any left right now, but tquilts.com. And you can find these little tools. They also have matching seam ripper stiletto combos. She has those as well. They're handmade here in America and from a company that she gets them from. I forgot the name of it already again, but she sells them on her website.
Someone says you're a quilting beast, and I have no idea how you do it. I've learned a lot from watching you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Eddie says, I can't believe how fast you whip up a quilt.
The little ones are nothing. They're little. The little quilts I could whip up quick. It's the big quilts that take, a couple more hours. Sorry. I know it's funny to say that. There are some that take a long time, like the big Lone Star, not the regular Lone Star, but the Mariner's Compass Lone Star or Mariner's Star Lone Star. That one took 6 months to make. But that's because the pattern was messed up, so I had to like rewrite everything myself and do my improvising to make it work. That's also done in a video. The Not So Lone Star took a while too. Took a couple videos. Since I was filming it, obviously I could have made it go quicker if I wasn't filming it the whole time. But yeah, I guess I'm a little on the quick side. I'm impatient though, so I like if I got to get it done kind of thing. And if I don't, it ends up in a drawer or a bin somewhere in this room, and then I never finish it. Which is no bueno. It's got to get done.
Bernie says, I wish my brain was as creative as yours.
It can be. Just got to think outside the box. Yeah, I'll iron press all this stuff later. For now, I'm just making these little strip sets, and then I'll press them and then subcut them. I'm actually not trying to be on here forever today because I am kind of tired. It may not seem like it, but I am. I've been having really hard time sleeping lately. Like some of you may know this, some of you may not. I have MS, and with MS comes insomnia. And I have such severe insomnia. Medications usually don't work, but I went off all meds, and since I don't take even pain meds anymore, I can take Benadryl, which is diphenhydramine, and it will actually help me fall asleep. Not fall asleep, but once I'm asleep, it helps me stay asleep longer. There's one downfall. I have the kind of body that 100% after 6 weeks of taking that same pill over and over again, my body gets used to it, and then it stops working, absolutely stops working completely. So I only take the pills when I feel I really, really, really need to get some sleep. And so I haven't been taking them lately. And I should have been the last 3 days because I have been up still when Scott gets up to go to the gym, and I am like super pooped exhausted. And then to top it all off, I haven't been napping lately. Weirdest thing. I'm so fatigued, but I just can't nap. I don't know what it is. So with the lack of sleep at night and the lack of sleep during the day, I'm kind of just, I've been keeping myself busy in here and should not think about it, but it's taking a strain on me. So I would like to not be on forever today so that I can actually get some rest, because I still have more videos to film because I have more stuff to do.
Pauline wants to know if you can get the name of the website for the tool you're working with.
tquilts.com. So hold on, let me write this in here. Oops. Do, 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 do.
Bernie says, Tiff, we love having you here.
There we go. That should work. Hopefully. It should be a nice clickable link.
I as for you, Pauline, that's for the tool that she's using.
Yep. So this for the tool, the T-Quilts link. In case she still has some, she might have some sets. They usually, you don't have to have them as the matching color sets, but they have like she has sun something, kissed sun kisses or something, and then tequila, which is like an orange and green and yellow mix, and then this purple one, and then there's a red one. I don't know the names of them all, let me tell you. I just don't know the names of them all, but they're highly handy little tools to have, and it fits in your hand like a pencil, so it keeps you from having like super hand fatigue, I guess, because it, you know, it's adjustable in the way it's shaped, you know, the way it's carved. They're really cool.
Brenda says take melatonin for sleep. That girl has been tied to memory loss with extended use.
Yeah, I tried the melatonin thing. It doesn't work for me. So, you guys know that pistachios have melatonin in them. Big tip for you guys. So the eating 40 pistachios before bed has the equivalent of 1 milligram of melatonin in it, and it's been scientifically proven. And that's all your body actually needs to go to sleep. The people that are taking 3, 5, and 10 milligrams of melatonin before bed are actually taking way too much, and they're going to mess up their sleep-wake cycle doing that. I read a lot. Like more than a lot, because I always try to find remedies, and I watch a lot of doctor stuff, you know, here on YouTube, actually, real doctors, medically stuff. So I've learned a couple little tricks. So I used to take melatonin, just 1 little milligram, but it doesn't work like you think for me because I'm an insomniac. So whether or not it puts me to sleep, I don't stay asleep, which kind of sucks. A pressing tool. I actually don't know the name of it. I just know it's a pressing tool. You'll see it under stuff that she has for sale on the website. If she doesn't have any, she can order more if you contact her.
Lori says, which frame do you have with your long arm?
It's the King Quilter frame, the 12-foot. It's the one that comes with the long arm. Although I think you can buy the long arm, and there's 1 or 2 different Grace frames you can actually put the King Quilter on, but I'm not 100% sure about that because it didn't fit on my Grace. I had a Grace GQ frame, and it didn't fit on that. So I got rid of that frame to get the new frame. Oh, look at this. Almost done. And then I could sew them now in sets of 4.
You're all saying good to know the pistachios.
Yeah. I eat lots of pistachios. Well, I eat about 50 or so of them before bed. And it doesn't matter whether they're in or out of the shell or salted or roasted or anything. It's naturally in the pistachio. It's mixed. It's got whatever and whatever and whatever in it. You guys can look it up. I don't know all the big fancy words, but I just know that 40 of them is the equivalent to 1 milligram. Most of the time I eat more than 40, though. Those are the nights I sleep really, really good.
Debbie says she took a DNA test to see which meds work best.
They have a DNA test for that,
yeah,
huh?
I never heard of that. She said the test is for meds covering depression, anxiety, sleep, and things like that.
Huh.
I did not know they even had a DNA test.
I know what medications I'm allergic to, which is a long list.
She says it turns out that no sleep meds work for her MS brain.
Wow. I don't think my doctors can. I don't think my insurance will pay for a DNA test to find things like that out.
Your insurance doesn't pay for normal tests that you need on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Still waiting on your hip thing.
Yep. I haven't had my hip MRI yet. I do have my shoulder MRI next week. Well, this week, technically. This week. Last week it would have been next week, but this week it's this week because today's already Sunday. Duh. Okay, last one. None of them fell? Good. All right, and I'm going to show you what I'll be doing before I start sewing these. I'm going to cut some of these other ones up real quick. All right, just going to move this out of the way real quick and move this out of the way. I am going to grab my strip tube junior ruler. I'm going to bring this over here. And you can see that they're already cut on the 45. I wouldn't be able to get 8 more pieces out of here for the diamonds. Let's see, probably not, but I'm gonna look anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't get 8 more out of here. So I don't want to make another star anyway because this is all in 1-inch strips. But I'm just gonna take my strip tube ruler. I'm gonna stick it on here at the 3 3/4 inch, which would be a dot, not a strip line. And I'm just going to start cutting like this and making a half square. Then I'm going to turn the ruler around, lining it up again, just like this, right there, right there. And then I'm going to cut this way. And then I'm going to turn it around again and cut this way, and so on and so forth until I have no more cuts available, which is probably going to be right now. Let's see. Oh man, there's like a little tiny piece. I could hide that in a seam. I bet I can hide that in a seam. It's a little tiny itty bitty spot on this one, but I can hide that little tiny indent into a seam. So I got 4 out of that. Let's see if I can do that again. Gotta be super careful.
Looks great. It looks like it grew overnight.
No, it's just messy. Not tucked behind my ears is good.
Well, thank you, Joe.
Thanks. It's growing, and it's going to get super long. Like, this is going to be in my face for a while, guys. Just letting you know. I am not cutting my bangs no more. I'm letting all my hair grow out at the same time. So it's going to get a little wild and messy, but I miss my long hair, so I am growing my hair back long again.
Brenda asked, are those strips 1.5 inch?
Nope, 1-inch strips. Little tiny 1-inch strips. Ooh, I will get 4 out of this one too. Look at that. It's lining right up.
David says your hair grows fast, and Teresa says your hair is cute.
You know, since my hair started growing back from, well, you guys remember with my valley fever, I had to chop it all off because it was falling out like super bad. Anyway, now that it's growing back thicker for one, which it was never thick. I've always had, well, it's still kind of on the thin side, but it's a little bit thicker. It's fuller. But now it's more, what's the word for? There's a word for my hair. Frizzy. Like, frizzy. It looks like I stuck my finger in a light socket most days. No amount of conditioning can control it. It's weird. But, oh well. Maybe when it's longer, it'll go back to the way it was before I chopped it all off. Never know. I'm just going to be making a miniature strip quilt, honestly, with all these little pieces. Oops, stay where I had you, ruler. It's not going to really matter if it's off. Just a tiny smidge, will it? Maybe, maybe not. Because then all I'm going to do is, I'm either going to grab another fat quarter, because I have one more light purple fat quarter of the super light purple. I think it's this one right here on this outer side. I have one more of those, and I could cut that up, or I can just stick all these together. I grab 4 different ones.
Bonnie says, I
like
call
this.
My hair summer hair. It has a mind of its own when the weather gets hot. That's funny.
Yeah. I can just stick them all together like this and make a quilt like this. Just a little tiny wall hanging out of what I'm cutting out of this. General idea. Right there. I'll leave it even right there. General idea. And I know it's hard to see on camera. I just realized by looking right here, it's hard to see because the colors are so light. Oops, I'm this way. Yep, this is 4 1-inch strips sewed together to create this little tiny thing. Oops, I gotta cut this way because I'm using my right-handed thing. Look at this, yay, I'm getting 4 from each so far. I wonder what I'm gonna get from these other strip units once I put those together. And I could already have squares made if I would have made a tube out of this and then used the same strip tube ruler. But I'll have enough combinations to make something really awesome, hopefully. Because there wasn't much of every color left. Not after making 2 wall hangings. All right, so this is pretty much what I'm doing. I'm going to sew everything together and then in sets of 4 and then trim them like this. So let's start sewing these 2 units into sets of 4 and then press those, and 3 3/4, which there is no dashed mark for that on this strip tube ruler. It's actually the notch mark between the dash. So on the strip tube ruler, it's the notch mark between the dashes. You don't always have to use the dashes if you need a certain size. All right, let's make some more units.
What size are you cutting the triangles?
3 3/4. So on my strip tube ruler, I'm using the 3, not the half mark where the dashed mark is, but the next line, which there is no line. I'm just lining up the tip of it on this right here. So you can see it doesn't land where you think it's going to land. It's on the tip of it. So they're 3 3/4. All right, so now I'm going to sew these now.
Linda asked, did you ever finish that one quilt you started around a month ago on Sew Sunday? The C?
My scrap quilt? Hold on, I'm trying to think. The one with the colors from Bernie, she gave me scraps and I started sewing them together. I haven't done anything with that in a little while. It's actually in a box on the other side of my desk. And no, I did not give up on it. I just kind of temporarily lost interest. All right, that can't go with
Linda
that.
says so colorful. The colorful.
Yes, yeah, that's in a box. Temporarily lost interest.
She's on here. Tell her to post her site so people can go to look at your little presser.
Oh yeah, T, put your website because everybody wants to see your presser if you have any available. I don't know what you have left because I know you said you still had a couple left, so you can let everybody know, T, how many of these little wood pressers you have left. And if and when maybe you'll make another order for them. Because they work so amazing.
Linda says, I can't wait to see it finished. Talking about the colorful quilt.
Yeah. What am I doing, Tiffy? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. Let's put those 2 together. That matches. So let's put those 2 together. And, we'll just have one left out. Put this one. This one's more full. Let's move that one out of the way. No, because that one has one that this one doesn't have. I'm talking to myself for a second, guys. That's combo, that's combo, that's combo. That works. Okay, we'll pull that one out for now. All right, how many people are on here? Is that way more than was
150.
earlier?
There's a lot on there. There's 150.
All right, so for those of you who are just joining, if you have already filled out a survey for the 5K giveaway, that means you have to do it again because of the link. So it's got a new link posted in the Facebook group and on my on my community tab with the new link. It's the same post, but a new link. Please fill that out again. And those of you who never did it before, then go do it. And those of you who have just done the new one, don't worry about it because you're good.
We started.
Hmm? What? So here is the link to the new survey to enter the 5K giveaway. So if you already entered the old one within the last couple days, before I turned that off, make sure you redo it again because I had issues. And I'm sorry about that. I cannot control some things, especially websites that are idiots and don't put that they're actually not free. You know? Put those two together. I'm totally going to make these sets in advance because I definitely don't want two of the same being left. There's enough of these to go nicely through here. That one with that one. Those two together. Put those two together. These two. Yep, see, I knew it. If I put them together like this, it'd be easier because that way I'm not left with something that already has that in it. So we'll put that one. Nope, that one's already got that in it. And that there. And that there. And that there. There we go. I guess that'll be good. Good enough. Trying not to have all the same combinations since there's not very many combinations to choose from. It's not like I really need another wall hanging because I don't really have any more wall space available.
You said it. I've been saying that for years.
But I just can't waste my scraps. So I'm making another something to hang. If I had like a special wall hanging like thing where I can just like have a rod or something or a clip or something so I can switch them out here and there. And the funny thing is when I first started quilting, I said I would never make wall hangings. I would never make table runners. I would never make, those kind of things, pillow covers, like quilted pillows or anything. I always said it was just going to be baby to king size quilts. And look at me. I make anything but those that much anymore these days. Well, I make a lot of baby stuff because it's small projects I can do in a live stream. But it's kind of funny that I told myself I would never, and look at me now. Always, always doing it, making something. I just can't let my scraps go to waste. I am super particular about not letting my scraps go to waste. Like, seriously. Oops.
Have you ever heard of mercerized cotton thread?
Mercerized cotton thread?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like
I probably have some. I probably have some. I don't want to look because then I'll be digging forever in my thread drawer.
Have you ever used it though?
I'm not sure. See, I'm going to be digging forever. I may have some in here, and if I do, I've probably used it. Yep. Probably. I use lots of random threads just to use them up on this. Like right now I'm piecing with the color purple, and then I had gotten some bobbins from somebody. They were pre-wounds, these little pre-wounds, but they don't have a casing around them, and they're getting eaten up in my Juki because there's no casing around them. So I can't use them. So instead of using them this way, I hook them on this right here. You guys, I don't know if you could see over here, but I hook them right here on my thread spooler thing, and I just rewind them on a different. So here it is right here, this little tiny thing that's left right here. These little spools, I'm just reusing it to wind on a different bobbin. So that way I'm not pre-wound bobbins. Because, yeah, I don't want to waste them. So I'm using them a totally different way than you're supposed to. Which is okay by me.
Yeah, well, that kind of sucks, though, because your fans sent you the pre-wound bobbins.
Yeah. But Juki does not like them. And I'm not going to try them in the long arm because this is my last one, so there's no point. I'm not even sure if they're for long arms, honestly. She did say that they're for this, I think, for the Juki, or any machine like this. But it doesn't fit in mine. I don't know why. It doesn't come out properly. But if they don't work one way, there's always another way. All right, one more. And then I can just press everything after I open all these seams. Oh,
Great idea, Ted.
yep. Some machines are just picky. My Juki, however, is usually not picky, but I didn't know pre-wound bobbins, like, because I have these pre-wound bobbins for my Brother machine, and these work in the Brother machine because they are in a plastic, I don't want to take it all out again, but they have a plastic casing around them. So it sits right in the drop-down tray. But in here, this is the metal bobbin casing that you insert in. For some reason, they fit in there, but they don't work. It doesn't unwind like it's supposed to. So why not just wind my own bobbins that go to my machine with it? I don't like to waste. I like to use everything. Somebody Zenovus doesn't like them, huh? Yeah, I kind of just, I don't know. I don't ever buy pre-wound bobbins, though, for those of you who are curious, now that we're on the conversation about them. I don't use pre-wounds. I prefer to wind my own. I know a lot of people do say pre-wounds have more thread on them, but in reality, since I wind my own, it really doesn't matter because I wind a whole entire case like this. I get bored one day and I just fill a ton of bobbins with a ton of different colors, and then they all go into the case, and then as they get empty, my main color, which is white, I usually use white, but right now I'm not, my main color ends up getting wound on the other ones. So I just roll a bunch of my own pre-wound bobbins when I'm bored.
Diane says you will have more thread in this project than you do fabric.
Yep. And they're two different kinds of thread too, but I have great tension, and it's, you can't even tell anyway. They're both like a purple shade and they blend. Same with the quilting on the quilts. The top is a light purple and the bottom is a more darker purple, and it looks just fine. It does not look wrong at all.
Krista says, I can't wait for the how-to for this one, Tiff. I'm going to make one as soon as my big Lone Star is done. I love stars.
Yes, I will get it done. For those that are just joining, if you didn't know and haven't seen it yet, I posted a video earlier of making little tiny star quilts. Little, when I say little tiny, I mean they are made with 1-inch diamonds and They only come out to be 15 inches square. Scott's going to hold them up again so that you guys can see. So off screen, I made this guy. This one was individual diamonds because I cut them out individually from scraps, and it came out perfect. And then these two, I did 2 different color backgrounds, but I only used 7 fat quarters. That's it, 7 fat quarters, and I made both of these from the 7 fat quarters. Oops.
You were holding that.
It fell. It happens. So yeah, I made both of these from 7 fat quarters. It was so much fun. Some people say this one is better. Some people say this one is better. They are called Twinkle Twinkle Little Lone Star because no matter which one you look at, they twinkle. So those are my quilt show entries from my local quilt show that will be here. I gotta turn them in October. So if I can get the hand sewing of my tag and my quilt sleeve, then they will be ready for the quilt show. I'll probably just hand sew them in bed later today because I hand sewed my other one too. So it doesn't have a tag on it, but it does have a hanging sleeve.
Well, Jill says those are beautiful.
Yes, they were so much fun to make. But
says I watched your earlier video. It was beautiful.
Yep. I had lots of fun. Let me tell you guys. I don't know what it is about miniatures, but it's obsessive. And when I say in the video earlier, you know, that the little 1-inch first border is equivalent to like a 2.5-inch normal border, that's what it is, because that is like a Barbie king size quilt. So in real life, it's probably, you know, it's just the miniature of what could be a queen size quilt, you know. It's so funny.
These are beautiful projects, Tiff.
Thank you.
Jonas says they're so beautiful. Love those.
Now you guys know why I don't throw anything away. Well,
Jill,
anything less than an inch.
Jill asked, did you say you have a tutorial?
It's not a tutorial, it's a time lapse, just showing you me making them. I will be doing a tutorial. The time lapse is a teaser.
And Teresa says she's been putting together some half square triangles and squaring them up to 1.5 for you. She says I'll be sending them to you soon. Teresa McBrayer. Thank you,
Awesome. Teresa. You know I'll use them. I don't know if you guys know this, but you know how my bins, I had a 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 5-inch, blah, blah, blah bins for my pre-cuts. Well, not only do I have a little 1.5-inch bin, which I've had for a while, but now I have a 1-inch square bin as well, because when I am bored, I am going to start sewing them together, and I am going to make another dime quilt, which is kind of like what's hanging on the wall over there. You guys really can't see it in the video, but I want to make another one of those, but all 100% scrappy and not just small. I want to make it big. I want to take and just start sewing my squares, sewing them, sewing them, and sewing them individually here and there when I have time and have more scraps to add. I am literally going to sew all those 1-inch squares together, and that's going to be one heavy quilt because my little guy, that's pretty heavy for a wall hanging.
Patty wants to know if you can give them quilt show tips.
Quilt show tips?
Yep.
Quilt
show tips.
You want the biggest tip? Don't be afraid to enter. If you're afraid to enter, then yeah, you're not entering. I mean, people do enter to be judged. I enter to be judged. I enter for all sorts of reasons. But if you're just entering just to enter a quilt show, enter because you want people to see your artwork. Does that make sense? You have spent all this time making something and nobody ever sees it because it's stuck on your bed. You know, don't be afraid to take it off the bed and hang it up for the world to see. Well, at least the world locally to a quilt store or a quilt show. But, you know, you never know what someone may offer you by just being hung up. You know, you can just stand next to your quilt and hear the things that people say. The last quilt show I entered, all the people, like, I moved around a lot, but people were talking throughout the whole entire quilt show. Did you see that big one around the corner? Oh my God, that is amazing, blah, blah, blah. And it does not give me a God complex. No, it just makes me feel good that I put that many smiles on those faces of all those quilters and non-quilters who actually thought my work was beautiful. It's fun. But my main reason for entering quilt shows is I want my name out there because my goal, and I've told you guys this before, is to sell quilts, but not just to regular people. I actually want my quilts in the movies. You guys see there's a quilt in every single movie, right? Every single TV show, there's quilts on beds. And because we're quilters, we see them. You know, Scott would have never saw a quilt until I pointed, oh, wow, that's a pretty quilt that they have on that bed, you know? Or you can make that or something like that. I want my quilts to be in the movies. That's my goal. And the only way to do that is to be seen. So, but they got to get their quilts for those movie sets somehow.
Okay, well, Patty says you need to write a book.
I'm not writing no book. I've already gone through that in my head and then tried contacting someone for the 25 patch blocks. You know what? I'm just giving it all to you guys for free. No big deal. You guys can do what you want with all of those ideas. They are on video forever. Well, unless YouTube ever gets shut down.
Hi, Nanny. Nanny says hi from Indonesia.
Hello.
She really likes your channel because every time you start broadcasting, you must be cheerful. Success is always for everyone.
Thank you. So, quilt show tip number 2. Make sure that you have a tag on it. Make sure you put as much information, but not too much, on your tag. So if you are say you're sending out to another quilt show out of state. I have not done that, but I know people who have. Say you're doing that. If you do, make sure your name, your address, and your phone number, and then the information about the quilt is on your tag. Make sure that your tag or label or whatever you want to call it is very legible and can be read. So that way, if anything ever was to happen, make sure that it can't be ripped off or cut off or something without ruining the quilt. You know what I mean? If they try to cut it off so they can claim it as their own when somebody from the post office steals it out of wherever, make sure that that tag does not come off. And if it does, it ruins the quilt and then they just can't enjoy it. You get what I'm saying? Why steal it if you can't enjoy it? So that'd be my second tip. Make sure that your tag contains lots of information, especially for outside shows. If you're just doing local shows, make sure it has all of your information. You don't put your address and phone number and all that on it, but I would say make sure it says who you are, blah, blah, blah. You also should make sure you properly fill out of the forms. If it's for sale, make sure you put for sale because people do buy quilts that are hanging up at quilt shows that are non-quilters that go to these shows. Make sure that you put it for sale. And then as much information. Yeah. Also, make sure that you fill out the paperwork properly. Also, most quilt shows, I'm not sure exactly, but most quilt shows actually, when you enter, want a printed photo of the quilt as well with your paperwork. So make sure that you have that. And I wouldn't print just anything off the computer. Just go up to Walgreens or CVS or wherever they have a printing thing at Staples or whatever, you can print pictures and print out a photo of said quilt, you know. That way there's some kind of whatever. And I would even take one standing next to the quilt so that they know that it is my quilt. That is me in that picture.
Jackie says, great tip. And Patty says, I'm thinking of entering the fair.
Yeah, enter. You know, that I don't know. I guess there's like nothing else to say. Just don't be scared. Be brave. Enter the shows. You want other people to learn to quilt, right? You want the next generation from you to see it. Well, guess what? These people that go to these shows, they are anywhere from the age of 95 all the way down to dragging grandkids, because my local show even had people walking around pushing strollers. Those children, it leaves an impression on them. There are people like me who see something on the internet just one day and say, oh, I can make that. There's going to be children, 8, 9, 10-year-olds that are being drugged around with grandma thinking that it's going to be the horriblest thing. And then they get there and they see something that they absolutely love. I want to make that. When I get older, I'm going to make that. How else is the next generation going to learn to make these quilts unless they see them hanging in quilt shows? So,
well, Teresa wants to let you know that Kimberly Jolly sews her tag into the back and then it's quilted on.
Yep, I do that sometimes. I also put the sewed into the binding tags. I also do the glued on to the back, like these ones are glued on, and then they're going to be stitched down as well. So to rip them off, it would literally rip the quilt. Yeah, some of them I do different than others, but they're mostly 100% fully adhered to the quilt. I'm going to plug in an iron so that I can iron these real quick. At least to get a little bit more done.
Wendy says to save your scraps from the quilt. Some quilt shows ask for that. Interesting.
For the scraps of the quilt?
Yes.
Interesting. I never heard about that.
Yeah, that's what she says. I've never heard that one either.
Nope, I've never heard of it. Alrighty, so I'm gonna use my portable ironing surface here. And I am going to wish that this was flat. Can you see these things do, after you start using them and ironing on them, these June Taylor mats, these are definitely meant for just when you're at a retreat or something, because these, I don't think this will ever be flat again. You want accuracy, you need a nice flat iron. I'm not really worried about anything because I pre-pressed all my seams open, so I should be good, but just food for thought. If you have or thinking about one of these, I would probably go with a different one. Martelli has one. Becca usually shows it on her channel, and they sell one that has wool on the back. But I think they only have a small square from what she said, and when he was on her live that one day, they can probably in the future custom make them. I'm not 100% sure. It's probably like 12.5 inches or 15 inches, somewhere around there. It's not that huge. But it's a portable mat, and it works for making blocks. So... Oh, it's still warming.
Patchwork, although in Indonesia it is rare for housewives to do crafts like this.
Wow, that's weird. I've never heard that before.
I wonder what they do in Indonesia.
I just realized this is still out. I haven't cleaned up my mess completely from earlier. I have so much stuff going on in here. I got stuff that I need a long arm. I have stuff that I need to clean up. I have stuff that I have to still finish writing on paper because I had designed some patterns for you guys for future videos that, you know, I'm just me. So it's really hard to do everything my brain thinks about. So little by little, you guys are getting things, but I still have a whole entire box up here on the shelf filled with patterns that I have wrote. They're not really like PDF type patterns for those that are new to my channel. It's called my scribbles. Patterns I have scribbled. So I have a whole thing of them that I have yet to do anything with. So I'm just giving them a nice steam press. They're already super flat and open, plus my fabric was pre-starched. Yes, I actually starched all of my fabric, guys. Can you believe it? But to make the little stars, it is highly important to starch everything. So it's all starched. And batiks are already a stiff fabric to begin with, so, or I should say, they're not like, it's not like, it's stiff. It's more of a waxier, harder fabric. How about that? That's a better description of batiks.
Nani would like you to say hello to her and her family, because she has her whole family watching.
Nani?
Yeah, in Indonesia.
Well, hello, Nani and Nani's family. Welcome to my quilting life of me making a disaster here in my room. Hope you guys are all enjoying.
And Heather was on the radio this morning for the birthday wheel. She missed by 1 month, but she won tickets to the Lego blocks around the world.
Ooh,
museum. I don't know
that's
what that is.
cool.
Cool. It's a museum thing.
That is cool. Probably going to get 2 half squares out of each one of these little tiny guys, which is good because that keeps me from having such a super enormous little quilt, since I have so many quilts anyway. But I love the color purple.
Lindy says her quilt shows you have to save the scraps because they want proof that you made the quilt. You didn't just buy it from somewhere.
Well, I have video footage proving I made it. Does that help? I don't know how to prove that without the scraps because it's really hard because I make something secondary from the scraps. And sometimes I do it while I'm making the main part of things. Like that little, that throw that I showed you guys how to make, weave it pattern. the scraps made that quilt. That's how the border was made. So it's literally has nothing left, you know, when you're done. You use every bit of fabric.
Diane says heat your mat with your iron and then put heavy books on it.
It'll still bend again. It bends right back into place. I already did that. I burned this thing super hot, and yeah, it just started bending again. It's okay. It still works. It's just bendy. All my fabrics are starched.
Nova says thank you for the tips on the name tag and the quilt.
Shoot, you could even permanently, like some people have the what is it called? Fabric. You can print onto fabric transfer paper. To prove that your quilt is yours, you could even, here's another thing, and this is just random to my head right now. You could take a picture of yourself, a selfie, and then print it up onto a piece of fabric, you know, with the photo transfer, and then glue it to the back of your quilt. Then everybody knows it's your quilt because your picture is literally glued onto it and sewn on. There you go. Built into the quilt. You can just like put it onto the backing fabric, you know, in the bottom corner somewhere, build it into it. That way it's literally built in and quilt in to the quilt. There's no denying that it's yours then. That would be kind of cool, actually.
Kim says she entered a county fair and she won a blue ribbon, but her quilt was ruined from all the people touching it with dirty hands.
Oh yeah, at our quilt show here, they don't allow you to touch the quilts. Only they have what they call ushers that walk around, and they are wearing white gloves. And when people go up to quilts and it looks like they're about to touch, these ushers will come up and, would you like to see the back? And then they'll pull it up. And they even put not paper clips. Oh my goodness, the word for it. Clothespins on the end for just in case. They put clothespins on it so you hold it by the clothespin. And there's notes all over everywhere that says, please do not touch the quilt and blah, blah, blah. But I can assume that some places probably don't take all the extra time to, you know, stop people from touching the quilts, especially big shows that can't be completely manned, you know.
Johnny says, according to her family, you are very kind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shout out.
Yes. Ugh. Okay, last one, then I can chop all these guys up. They're so stiff. I'm not used to working with super stiff fabric because I don't ever starch anything, but I guess there's always something new for me to do around here. I'll make that for a while. Let's see how many I'm going to get out of these tiny little guys. All right, here we go. I'm going to go as close as I possibly can to the corner. Let's see, I could fudge that into the seam allowance. I think I'm going to get 2 out of each of these. That's what it's starting to look like, but hey, good enough. All right.
Brenda wants to know what she missed.
Not much. Just sewing up some of my scraps from my earlier's video.
She made a bunch of thread conditioner. I don't know what that is.
Oh.
That's what she was doing. She missed stuff.
Like wax stuff for when you like hand sew, thread conditioner.
I have no idea.
All right.
Marla says that their quilt shows they staple a piece of paired on the quilt, so you can grab that and then look at the back. That way you don't have to touch the quilt.
Interesting. I don't know what it means. That's why I said interesting. Like maybe some kind of paper, like a specialty. I stood by my quilt the whole time at my last show, so I was able to. lift my own quilts for the, I did have a couple times where the ladies that came in because they were working in shifts from the guild didn't recognize me, so they were like, oh, don't touch it. I was like, this one's mine. So they didn't stop me.
Okay, so they put some type of paper on it so you can grab the paper to touch the back of it. Okay, so that makes sense.
I'm not sure I want the people seeing the back of some of my quilts.
Oh.
The big star quilt that I entered the last time, that one had a pieced back, and it was so big it was really hard for people to even look at the back of it because you couldn't even see the whole thing. You could only see like a tiny, smidge of it. Come on, don't wiggle on me now. And I'm still not going to throw some of these scraps away because I'm totally got problems. So weird. Oops, stop doing that. I keep wanting to turn it, but I forgot. You turn the ruler, not the fabric. Oops, I'm still working on the little guys. Should be enough to make a good sized little mini quilt. I don't know what it's going to look like, but colors might just all blend into each other. See, this one's got a little thing I got to hide in the seam allowance, but guess what? I don't care. It's a wall hanging. No rules. Besides keeping it pretty. That's the rule. Using the pretty purple fabric. If you didn't know, purple is my favorite color. I love all things purple.
Daddy says, I saw another one of your videos had 11,000 views. Congratulations.
Yeah, I have one that has like 22,000 views.
That's your other time lapse.
Yeah, my other time lapse. And then I have a couple that have like 14,000. I don't know. It's weird. Some have a lot, some don't. I can say.
One has 400 views.
Yeah, I can say this. So the last survey I did for the 4K giveaway, I learned a lot of helpful information. Some people said they want to see more long arming videos under the question that said, what would you like to see more of on Tiffany's channel? The thing is the long arming videos always have the least views. And I know why, because a lot of the answers to another question on the last one was, like they asked whatever, and they said they don't like watching certain videos because they don't own a long arm and it makes them jealous to have it, that I have it, and they don't want to have to beg their husband they're not going to see it because it doesn't show up very well on the camera. You need something behind it like a piece of paper. I don't have a random piece of paper. So it's kind of weird. So a lot of people want to see more long arm quilting, but those are the least viewed videos. So just putting that out there.
There you go, Brenda. Hope that helped. Brenda asked if she could see that.
So I enjoy just, in my long arm videos are mainly for entertainment. They're not really, I'm not teaching you anything in most of them unless I'm actually doing it live stream, then I'm kind of showing you. Most of the time it's just all over designs, and it's the intriguing, mesmerizing factor, because I even watch long arm videos just for the sound and the movement of the machine and seeing what's being stitched out. So I watch even the people that do computerized long arming videos, but then I'm weird, so not saying any of you aren't weird either for watching them, because I know some of you do, but oh man, this one is
Brenda
not.
says, I like watching you make things.
Okay, that's not Definitely not going to fit. I'm probably going to have an odd amount. I have a feeling I'm going to have an odd amount of these. You know that just feeling that you get? That's okay, though.
Got that loving feeling in my mouth?
Scott is going to show you the reason for these scraps again. Oops, I almost went to a different number there. Pay attention. Pay attention.
Mary says at the Kansas City Quilt Show, they didn't have enough volunteers and people were touching the quilts left and right.
Oh, yeah. Kind of sucks. I'm not part of the guild, so the only thing I did the last quilt show is I did make a bunch of items for the boutique, and they sold right away. Only reason why I know is because, you know, I can't just stand out at the quilty area, so I had to go out into the boutique, you know. I don't think, well, they don't see it when it's being moved around. So there's this little guy. I made this before making the video. And then my two little guys.
Sarah says, I just showed them. Sarah says, I'd
Yeah.
like to see more freehand video.
Free motion quilting? Like on the sit down? Because I don't like sit down free motion. Not anymore. I used to do it all the time. I don't like it anymore. With my shoulder problem right now, until after I find out what they're going to do after the MRI, I'm not doing it at all because my shoulder hurts anyway. So free motion quilting will actually probably aggravate the problem.
Ernie says, oh, that pink is beautiful. Wow.
Yes, the pink one shows up a lot. It shows up. It's very, look at me. Have any of you even done what I'm doing right now? Made little half square triangles out of 1 inch, 1 inch pieces. Making strip units and then just making little tiny pieces. I've done this before. I'm just curious if you guys have, because I do this all the time. Except I make bigger quilts. I don't make little tiny ones, but.
Brenda says they're all pretty. Denise says, with me, I can watch a live video for several hours, but not the replay. I fast forward. She says, how much of a replay do you have to be viewed for you to get credit? I honestly don't know that.
I get credit when people just click on the videos. It's not what you think kind of credit, but it's still, I don't know how to explain it. It's an algorithm. So the more people that click on it, that's why they say clickbait when you type something that's clickbait, because tons of people click on it and it gets millions of views. They make money because you're clicking on it, but they don't make what you think they make. It's like 0.000001, you know what I mean, per view. But with 1 million views, obviously those 0.00001s add up.
If you watch the whole thing, then you get the commercials, and even if you skip the commercials, at least they're there. The commercials make us money.
I don't watch a lot of replays. I do when I was like, okay, say a video was playing. Say I'm watching Quilts and I came in late, or Becca and I came in late. If I came in 30 minutes later on when the video is completely over, I'll go back and originally watch those first 30 minutes. But say I missed the video completely, I go back and watch it. I usually just let it play. I just set the phone up on my little stand, and I'm usually in here anyway because everybody that I watch are my sewing buddies at that very moment. And I just set it up and I just watch or listen, the whole entire time. And then I leave a comment that I watched and or listen. Not always. There are some times that I haven't left comments, but I try to. But most of the time I watch all my favorites live stream. If it's not my favorite, then I catch it on replays because there are some people like Sarah Lawson. She comes on at the same time as me on Sunday. So I always watch her videos as a replay. Okay, that's not going to work on that one. I am almost done chopping these up, guys. I might be able to just put these together. I don't know how long I've been on, though.
2 hours.
Oh, really? I might have to put them together another day because I don't even know what I'm doing with them just yet. I know.
No, you're not. Every time you say that, you go on wrong.
I know. I guess I'm the queen of never doing a short video, except for my last video, because that's not short. That's only 10. I mean, that is short. It's only 10 minutes.
Phyllis says, Tiff, I can hardly wait to see what this will be.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things. Okay, this is not really.
Teresa wants to know that right now you're playing on her phone, her laptop, and her 16-inch.
Because the TV doesn't have the comments, so you have to have something else to play the comments. That's funny. I do the same thing though. There's a few channels that I watch. I turn it on my Roku TV, and then I use my phone or tablet or something to play in the
Patty says if
talking.
You comment on the replay, that helps too.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The interaction period helps. The clicking on the video and the interaction. But I can tell you from my last video to my current video, my views are down. Because I can see my analytics at any time. So I can tell you that my views are down. But then compared to last month, I'm pretty sure they are, because last month and the month before, I did get over 20,000, 22,000 views on my time-lapse video. So obviously my views are down because that video took up a lot of views last month.
Bernie wants to know if you have a pattern for your wall hanging.
There will be a video soon. It's going to be verbal visual. For those that are new to my channel, a lot of people have said in comments that they looked and looked for a download. None of my videos, except for like 4 of them in the past, have a PDF download. Everything, and that's why it says it always in the title of the video, verbal visual, because I don't write PDFs. I don't put any more than told 100 bazillion times. I am very well at describing things and explaining things. So most of my verbal visual videos go extremely well because I can tell you what to do pretty darn easily, and you can see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So you guys will not see PDFs from me for a long, long time because I don't have the time. I'm not in the mood, and I hate to sit in front of a computer. And it's really hard to write a PDF from a phone, so. All right, one more. And then I'll have this whole stack cut up and I'll put it together another time. I just need to rest for a little while. I know. No, because I'm getting hungry. At the same time as needing to relax. Right there. Come on. And there we have it. A nice little stack.
No sense. I love watching long arm videos, even though I'll never have one.
Yeah, some people are, I can't say, maybe it is the word jealous that I'm looking for. Maybe they're just not as intrigued. Some people haven't even gotten past the making a quilt top part, so maybe the long arming is scary to them, so watching a video is not what they're quite ready for yet. I mean, there could be a bazillion reasons, but I do know that they get less views. I'm just going to like lay these out and then get off of here. That way I have a general idea of what I think I might do.
Oh, well, it's Tiffany's Quilting Life. We put on videos of all kinds of steps in life.
Yeah.
If you guys like one, you watch it. If you don't like one, you don't have to watch it. There's plenty of others out there.
Yep.
It puts on tons of videos. You like one, you watch it. You don't like one, you just skip it and watch another one.
Yep. So I could do what I'm doing right now, or I can grab the other. Like I said, I have another fat quarter that I could cut up and do it on the opposite side of these guys. So like the fat quarter could be some more of these different colored ones. Could be the other side of the half square triangle, if that makes any sense.
Brenda says, I was just learning the free motion and enjoy seeing simple designs.
Yep, it's the reason those videos are there. It's the reason. So you guys can decipher if you want to make it yourself, you know? I mean, you witnessed the whole thing being quilted in one video, so obviously by the time the video is done, you got the general idea of how the machine is moving.
And Craft with Love wants to know where you got your rotary cutter from.
It's a Martelli cutter, and we got this one on Amazon, but you can buy them at martelli.com. You can buy them at Stephanie Stitches. She also sells them on Etsy, Stephanie's Supply Shop. And let's see, I'm trying to think. There's a bunch more places that sell them, but.
And the other one was a gift.
And the other one, I have a big giant one too. That one was gifted to me. I just recently got it, and it's already goopy and dirty like crazy because I've been cutting things like crazy in here.
Linda's got a question for you.
Yeah.
She wants to know how many tattoos you have and what of.
I have lots of tattoos, probably like my whole chest is covered in a tattoo. Well, from nipples up, I guess, is all tattooed because it goes to one side of my neck. I can't see. Anyway, and that's all music. So that's what that's of. I have really stupid one on my back of a skull, and mixed with tribal, and it's skulls. There's 5 of them in a tribal setting, and they're retarded. And I wish I would have never done it. And I have my kid's name tattooed with a 4-leaf clover on one side of my leg with a little their names with now I can't even think. Yeah, 4-leaf clover and leaves. I have a tramp stamp, which is a butterfly and 4 flowers. At least that's what they were called back in the day. I don't know what people call them anymore these days because there's different names for different stuff anymore these days. I have a dragon right here on my arm. I have I don't think this is called a sleeve. It's just it goes into my back into here, and it's lots of bugs and a fairy. I'm the fairy, and bugs surround me. And I have a matching tattoo that is with my daughter, Alexa. We have matching mommy and daughter tattoos of mommy and baby whales. I have that tattooed on one of my legs, my outer calf. Then a couple trashy ones, you know, because I was young and dumb. And someone said, free tattoo. And I was like, yay. And then I have a wolf tattooed on the side of my body right here. And Scott has the matching one. That's our matching tattoos. And then I have stars filling this arm that are faded. So again, another stupid one because they're faded away, and that's what tattoos do. They fade away. They don't last forever.
Delilah says hi. First time on your live. Just found your channel.
Awesome. Welcome.
Found your channel the other day.
I'm crazy. I'm out there. But guess what? I get a lot done. All right. Ooh-wee. Like, this is like table runner size. This ain't even mini size anymore, you guys. This is like, how many do I have left? I don't know. But I don't even have to lay them out like this. I could just like turn them, like I said, into half square triangles with the light purple that I have a fat quarter of. So there's an uneven amount left anyway. So I could like move things around and then have one block left, or I could make half square triangles with a solid, well, not solid, but it reads solid, of the lighter color of the purple I have, or even I can grab a dark, dark, dark purple and make half square triangles and then make something even bigger, where it's just these hooked to a half square triangle, creating a square, and then rotate them, you know? Or I can put them together like this as squares and then hook all the squares together, but it'll still end up looking like this because that's what it would look like if I did it that way. This is just the square idea on point.
Brenda says, I think you're down to earth and pretty dang normal.
Thank you. Crazy, but normal. All right, guys, I'm done for now. I'm not going to sew the rest of this together because I want to make up in my mind whether I want to take another fat quarter of the purple and or maybe even a super dark purple and make half square triangles, or I can even use this blue and purple that I used as the backing and just make half square triangles with this, because I actually have a bunch of this. I could totally make half square triangles with this. So imagine, I can't even do it right because there's not enough. Imagine it being half square triangles like that and then put them all together. It would look kind of funny, but it wouldn't at the same time. I don't know. I got to think about this in my brain for a little while before I sew more. Because whatever I do, if I make it with those, then it'll end up bigger. So, alrighty. Anyway, I'm going to get going. I'm going to tell you guys and show you guys one last time about the giveaway. So, here we go. I'm just going to show you while we're here. This was number 5 of the things you can win. I'm not going to go over the measurements again because I don't feel like remeasuring and I totally forgot what they were. So we got, this is the 5th one up for grabs for the giveaway. So I should put that link in one more time while we're doing this.
Connie wants to know how many colors are in this mini while you're doing all that.
7. All right, so there's the link to sign up for the giveaway. Here's item number 4 that I'm giving away. So it's almost the same as item number 5. Then here is item number 3. I did not make this in a tutorial. This is the 3rd prize I am giving away. This is the 2nd prize I am giving away. And this is the 1st prize I am giving away. I like to give away handmade items as opposed to stuff that you guys can make. I know it's kind of weird, but everybody wants something made by me. So this is how you do it. You sign up for a giveaway and hope to God you win so that you could have something made by me from my home to yours. And anybody can enter the giveaway, but if you are out of the country and you win, you will have to pay your shipping. It says it in everything about my giveaway, but I will be in the future, because if you don't have the money to pay for shipping, because it's going to be expensive, in the future I'm going to be doing a giveaway just for my out of the country people. So look forward to that. I mean, I can't always cater to out of the country because we can't afford it right now, but just know that in the future, very soon, hopefully, I will be doing a giveaway for just those that are out of the country. So that is it. Don't forget to sign. If you've already entered the giveaway before I even announced it in this video, like 2 days ago, please do it again, because that's a totally different thing. It's a totally different service because there was a boo-boo. So make sure that you do it on the link that I gave. Other than that, that's it. That's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I am going to get off of here, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe down there, like my videos, and share with your quilty friends. And happy Sew Sunday, everyone. Bye.
Good night.